If plans worked, there'd be no need to keep making them. Planning is the key to success, yet inherently flawed, and we accept it as such. It's a guideline, an aerial map of what we think might happen in a given period of time, but we all know there'll be deviations, detours, and even backtracking. We find comfort in the unknown and the unexpected. It's the predetermined, the chance that things go as expected, that scares us. Nothing is gained without sacrifice, nothing is learned without effort, and no one ever achieved anything without taking the first step toward the unknown. Last time on the trail, we relived the Oregon Trail history as we walked down the wagon ruts under the heat of the high desert, had our first trail fix after the Land Cruiser blew a power steering hose, made our way through the Sucker Creek Canyons, one of our favorite spots in our home state, hit our first milestone making it through our native state of Oregon into Idaho, and got a little welcoming present from Boise after parking in the wrong lot.
How much is the book?
Welcome to Boise. Oh, $50, dude. So we're officially 1 week into the trail, and we're in Boise. Pretty much once a week we got to come back to town to resupply, so this is our resupply day. And this is the first day that I've been really exhausted. I slept in a symphony of snoring last night and didn't get a whole lot of Z's, so it's going to be a push for me today to get through and not snap or go postal on anybody. So we're going to do our best to hang in there and stay positive, but that's what this is all about, I guess, pushing the limit. I believe someone once said to me, the key to any good adventure is living in the moment while anticipating your next step. Which didn't make much sense to me at the time, but I believe we found the truth of this statement along our path. We were absorbing every mile we traveled, but no matter how far we went, there was always this underlying sense of curiosity for what lay ahead. We'd spend more hours together on the trail than we'd spend with our wives on an average day, and after a week, we finally started finding our groove. It was the unforeseen, the unavoidable that forced us to adapt our skills to better prepare for our next adventure. And we'd only made it through our first state, so we still had most of this journey ahead of us to learn as a team. It seemed we worked better under pressure. The solutions came easier, the burden was lighter, and with every mile we learned to work more efficiently with each other. Our path was long, our wagons slow, but our spirits were high as we drifted from the clutches of civilization into the blistering heat of Idaho's high desert.
I love being out here. It's a good feeling just to be away from city and chaos and traffic and all that kind of stuff. So we do this because we love it, and I don't think we're ever going to stop. So you better be prepared because we're a storm and we're coming right at you.
Hey, you guys got a copy?
There we go.
Yeah, we got a copy. What's up?
Yeah, if you find a flat spot, we're unable to do anything with four-wheel drive right now. We can't get into it, so we need to kind of screw with it.
Okay. Right up here then.
Copy, there's a flat spot right up here.
Problems, electronic problems. I've never had to do this long. It usually takes 1 time, 2 times.
There's a servo deal on the side of the transfer case. I wonder if we didn't hit that when we hit that last ball.
So Kobe is having trouble engaging his four-wheel drive, so we stopped on a flat spot, and Chris is gonna get underneath it and take a look, see what's going on.
right, Kobe, give it a shot.
I did notice the other day that harness was loose, and I plugged it in again too.
Okay. We may have jostled it on that last bump.
Got it figured out. Electronic
This thing has been the most.
plug that goes to my transfer case. Looked like it was a little bit loose, so it wasn't allowing me to engage. So thank you, Ford, for putting an electronic shifter in there instead of a manual one. I really appreciate that.
I can't tell you how many hours we spent prepping the vehicles for this expedition. It took 7 guys, a community, and 2.5 years to make this happen. But part of the adventure was the vehicles themselves. We took what we had, equipped them the best way we could, and tried to anticipate the weak points. There were nights when I'd close my eyes and the image of the underside of the cruiser was all I'd see. We knew it wouldn't be easy, and heck, if it was simple, it wouldn't be fun. I mean, what's the point of adventure without a little hard work? So we charged forward, no worse for the wear, and grateful for the experience.
Yeah, we're in Idaho. We've done a lot of desert, and one thing I noticed, our radio contact when someone's down in a valley and we're not within line of sight, our contact's bad, and we got separated by quite a bit today. Didn't lose each other, but we could have very easily. One of the things we do here on the team when we lose comms is we try to visually identify the other truck or group of people. Desert environment, that's very easy to do. However, they may not see me. So one thing we use is a signal mirror. Signal mirror can be any kind of a reflective object. You can use a broken glass bottle. If you're really good, you can use the face of your watch. If you want to obviously face yourself to the sun where it's reflecting, then I'm going to put it on my hand. I make a sight with my fingers. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan to whatever, the other group or a truck or whatever, an aircraft if you have to, and I'm going to paint them left and right and up and down. They'll see my position and where I'm winking at them, because that's what it looks like. It looks like a wink. This can be seen up to 100 miles, and literally almost anything in your truck that has a reflective surface will work.
Hey, Kobe, turn to your right just a little bit. We had become quite the students of history through this adventure we sought out, but I don't think we came into this with the respect deserved for the travelers that came before us. Our path hadn't even led us half the distance the pioneers braved in covered wagons, but already we were starting to understand what it took for our forefathers to complete this migration. These were people of grit, determination, carved from the trials that they had to endure to forge a better life for them and their families.
So we're in a place called the Utter Disaster. It's a small historical marker here on the Oregon Trail, and it's actually one of the biggest assaults that had happened by a group of Indians. And with the company of people that they were with, they lost 6 men, 2 women, and 3 children. And the Indian casualties were estimated about 25 to 30. And there was saying here that there was no greater attack and loss of death through Indians attacking the pioneers. It was a reality for them. A lot of the pioneers and coming into encounters with Indians, and sometimes they were friendly and sometimes they were able to trade with them, but other times the Indians, I know, weren't sending the right to their land as they viewed it. There was an attack, so pretty crazy to come across this little area, and rest in peace.
We found as we traveled along our path, no matter how remote the location or untraveled the trail, our tribe was never far away. We come in different shapes and sizes, in different modes of transportation, but the spirit is the same. We seek adventure and solitude. We thrive in uncertain situations, and amongst our own we find acceptance and community. Our journey crossed paths with many of these folks, some alone, others with friends, but these travelers are our heroes. Doing it for the sake of the experience and asking nothing in return, we decided we would capture the signatures of these unsung wanderers, for us to look back on as inspiration.
After their meals were cooked and their livestock grazed, early pioneers took time to record their presence on this and the other rocks in the area. The land around Register Rock was a common camping area along the Oregon and California trails, and it's been preserved by the Idaho Department of Parks and Rec so that modern visitors can enjoy a landmark of the past.
And you can see the old inscriptions on it for people that passed it.
Dude,
oh, wow.
This is crazy. They have a little hole in this gate here for this Register Rock that the immigrants used to sign basically as they pass through, and you can reach your hand in here and actually touch these inscriptions or their carvings. So it's pretty cool to say you touched a signature from one of the original pioneers that braved the Oregon Trail. This is pretty cool.
1849.
The Indian head and preacher head carved on this rock, dated 1866, is the work of J.J. Hansen at the age of 7. At this time he was traveling along the Oregon Trail with his parents to Portland, Oregon. And he came back here in 1908 to see if his work was still here, and then he dated again. So it's weird to think that this guy's long gone, but when he did this he was 7 years old, and he was probably sitting here. He was probably just sitting there bored as a little 7-year-old kid, scratching on the rock with another rock and making a little picture, and it's still here, which is crazy after all these years. Pretty fascinating. These are the kind of things that kind of bring you, suck you into the whole experience of the Oregon Trail.
Yeah, we're gonna walk it, I think.
Dude, this is gonna be fun.
This is sketch.
Look at that bridge, Kobe. When was the last time that bridge was used?
It's about the only place to cross.
Cross anywhere.
There or there.
Maybe down there.
As we brush back the grass on this age-old tale of hardship, perseverance, and reward, it began to expose the pioneering spirit buried just below the unassuming exterior of our expedition. Overall, feeling pretty good. I've been had a few rough nights sleep in the tent. Turns out 4 out of the 5 guys that are here snore, and I'm a real light sleeper, so that sucks for me, but we'll get through it.
Today's day 7, Friday. We made it 180 miles into Idaho today. Yeah, stoked to be here. We're on this beautiful lake.
It'd been a journey already. We'd seen the push and pull of the trail, the ups and downs of the team, the twists and turns of the expedition, and we knew there'd be obstacles ahead. But the terrain we'd face tomorrow would put our camaraderie to the test.
Isn't he just like a cricket? He just look at him. He just reminds me of like a grasshopper. He's just sitting out in the dust, just minding his own, and then 3 stupid trucks come along and dust him out. He's just a cricket.
Look at him.
I just want to pick him up and pick. Just look at him.
Would you just look at him? He's just a little boy sitting down there with his camera. He's just taking some pictures of this big here Oregon Trail off-road team. Just look at him. Just look at him. He's just so cute there, isn't he? Just look at him. I just want to look at him. Just kind of pet him and stuff. Just pick him up, rough his hair up.
Glasses.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Yeah. You ready? That's fine. That's better. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't spray. It didn't spray.
It hosed me. It hosed